shape young men and women. With the pillars, with the future, here we are. Let's join together with ability to change communities, with love, with peace, to respond to our need, to call for unity. Africa, hear me cry. Never leave me alone. As I see light in a brighter future, let's join hands for youth and women. Let's join hands for youth and women.
I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, vijana wa Afrika wote waungana. Vijana kutoka mashariki, magharibi, kaskazini na kusini, hata na kati, twaja pamoja ili tufanye nini?
So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Hello, Kunjani. Search Bakai. Kiana. Bravo. Amahoro. Mambo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unplugged. We are very excited that you chose to spend this evening with us. I'm Fiona Kemigisha, your host. Everyone just calls me Kemi. We keep this space a bit informal, just in case you're new. Now, today's topic is one that I've definitely been wanting us to have for a while. So I'm really looking forward to your input, your thoughts, and please know that this is a super open space. As in, there's a whole segment at the end where you can put up your hand, share what you want to share, ask a question, whatever you need to say. This is a space that's really open for that. So first things first, if you're already here, please go ahead and leave your name, your country, your organization, or what you do in the comment section, because we love to connect with you guys and also for you to connect with each other. My colleague will leave a link for our we have a Google Drive document where you can register your email address and details about what you do so we can find each other. It also helps us connect with you guys when we are doing topics that are related to your field of expertise or your field of interest. So when she sends that, you can join over there. But let's get into today. I really want to see some messages from you guys. Let me see some messages letting me know where you guys are from. I feel like it always starts us off really well, just to know people from different places are here and listening in and looking forward to the conversation. But let me introduce this conversation. We've been for a long time really wanting to have more discussions about mental health and everything in there. So I thought that for our first episode of Mind Chat, which is what we'll call the segment on mental health or anything mental health related, we are going to discuss cyberbullying, which is something that I feel a lot of us know a little bit about, or maybe even a lot about. So I think I wanted to start with a question, but first, let our guests introduce themselves. We're hosting some really great young people who are passionate about mental health and just like keeping our spaces positive and healthy. So let them introduce themselves. We can start with Shantal. Welcome. Please introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, all that.
Thank you so much, Fiona. I hope I'm audible. That was a very good intro. So my name is Shantal Kisimba. I'm from Kenya. Professionally, I'm an environmentalist. I'm also a mental health advocate. I'm passionate about issues related with mental health. Reason being, I love creating awareness on issues related to mental health to help fight stigma and discrimination. And just to add it also, I have a lived experience with mental illness. So through that, I'm able to share my story and also help other people who are struggling. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Shantal. Shantal is representing Kenya. She didn't say, but me, I'll say for her. Okay, so our other guest is Patience Ahumuza. Yeah, I think Pesh is here. Pesh, please feel free to introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
Hello, sorry, I'm a bit in the dark because I'm in Uganda, unfortunately. My name is Patience Ahumuza, but I usually use Pesh Ahumuza online. Professionally, I'm a teacher, but I kind of got into data communications. So I do data communication, social media marketing, the like. I'm also a social media influencer, especially on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, mostly Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, I'm also a feminist. I'm really, really passionate about that. And being in the space of a social media influencer and a feminist, you kind of get a lot of bullying online. So this is this is a topic that I'm really, really passionate about. This is a topic that really concerns me because I've been bullied a million times. And then the other thing is I've also struggled with mental health the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and I'm happy that we're having this conversation.
All right, thanks, Pesh. Actually, you started us off where I wanted to start. I wanted us to just start off by, I'm going to ask a question, and if your answer is yes, me, you can just put up your hand, okay, not your actual hand, but the hand in the down there, where the reactions are, you can put up your hand. So the question is, have you or anyone close to you ever experienced cyberbullying? Anyone else? You or someone close to you, a friend, your sister, your classmate, your teacher, your colleague at work, anybody, just anybody at all in your space. Have you experienced bullying on the internet, whether it's on social media or gaming sites or any of the other 100 places that this could happen to you? Okay, I see 5 hands up. But in my heart, I feel like more people have experienced this, whether it's yourself or someone that you know, because it's such a rampant thing. I mean, in this age where we all live on the internet, we work there, we get our entertainment there, we meet people there, we make friends. I mean, people even meet their life partners online. So it's a space that we are using so much. And abuse is, it's through the roof. It's at the highest possible it has ever been on the internet, especially on social media. So let's talk about what I dubbed it surviving social media, because honestly, we are just surviving. We are trying to survive. So let's start off with, I feel like, especially I see this a lot on Twitter. People will say something derogatory or negative, and then other people react, and then we hear, oh no, it was just a joke, So I want us to talk a little bit about what is the difference between a joke and bullying. How far is too far? Pesh, I'd like to start with you. Maybe you can share your thoughts on, how far is too far? Where is the line between jokes and actually bullying somebody?
I believe that I cannot define how far is too far for everyone, because what I might easily laugh off about my skin isn't something else that someone else can laugh off. So the jokes and the bullying, the only distinct between the two things would be how someone feels about them. So if I don't feel happy about your comment towards me and you constantly say it, that becomes bullying. Yeah. So you cannot really define what is the distinct. At the end of the day, if someone feels offended by it, then that starts off with a bullying. Yeah.
Okay, that actually makes sense. It makes me think of how, like when you do something to someone and they're hurt, but your intention wasn't that, but they're hurt all the same. So that means that you should apologize. So, I think that's kind of what it's like. Yeah, even if I had other intentions, as long as I hurt you or offended you, then that's something negative, and there needs to be an apology, there needs to be a retraction, there needs to be something. So Shantal, what do you think about that?
Yes, I concur with Pesh. As long as emotions are involved, and to be precise, negative emotions, at the end of the day, that we wouldn't classify it as a joke, because we're all human beings, we're not stones, we have feelings. So if someone posts something about somebody or makes a comment about a person, and the person who the comment is addressed to feels hurt, at the end of the day, that is bullying. I think for too long, we are hiding under this blanket. We use the joke, quote unquote, to cover it up. But most of the time, in most cases, it's usually cyberbullying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's definitely something we can agree on. And everybody in the audience, please feel free to leave your comments on what we are discussing. And again, where you're watching from, what you do, leave that all in the comments, and I'll definitely shout you out as we go on. Azan, I see you actually the first person in the waiting room. Thank you so much for joining us every single week and for being early as well. We appreciate you. Oh, Pesh, I see your hand is up. Did you want to say something, or was that from earlier?
No, that was from earlier.
Okay, cool. So I think we can definitely agree that as long as somebody is offended, someone feels some type of way about something that you've said, a comment that you've made, then that should be that. I mean, there's no discussions about, oh, it was a joke or whatever you felt, you the deliverer. The way things are received is what really matters in how we classify, have I been bullied? So the next thing that I'd like to talk about, I'd like us to discuss is the effects, because a lot of us have experienced some type of cyberbullying. It's not always, blatant. It's not always like, oh, someone has come right in your face and said something completely awful, but sometimes it's just undertones, it's sexism, it's racism, but it's not always overt, but those different things make us feel different ways. So I was wondering, Shantal, maybe you can share with us what are the effects of cyberbullying from your experience, or even from people maybe that you've talked to in your experience as a mental health advocate. What are the negative effects of cyberbullying?
Okay, thank you, Fiona. So when it comes to the effects of cyberbullying, mostly there are negative effects and implications on people. Some are short-term, some are long-term. Just to list but a few. One would be cyberbullying directly affects a person's mental health. We do get that if a person experiences cyberbullying of any kind, they are prone to developing mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety. How? They can show signs and symptoms of some of these illnesses. For example, we have a change in their mood or behavior, or probably sleeping too much. Let me give an example. If I go online today and I post a picture about myself, and then someone comes in and body shames me, I'm not going to smile at the end of the day. So my mood will be affected. And through that, my mental health is directly affected. We also have cases whereby I've seen scenarios whereby someone is running an online business or doing an enterprise online, which is the usual norm nowadays. So through that, you get maybe someone goes in the comment section and posts something negative concerning the business. At the end of the day, the person will be demoralized, And now, let's say, for example, this individual who was doing the business, that is their source of income or revenue to survive. They are going to draw back a little bit because the fear has gotten into their mind. Next time, maybe if I post another product, someone might criticize it. So you see, at the end of the day, their mental health is affected. Their even economic status will be affected. Even they're going to draw back from pursuing what they love to do. So we are seeing that cyberbullying has direct impacts on people, even when it comes to body shaming, self-esteem, the self-esteem of a person can be down. And body shaming is a common one. We also have to understand that we are all beautiful and wonderfully made. We are all different and unique. So if I am petite and I share my image, someone comes in and comments something like, oh, you're too skinny, or you need to add a little bit of meat, such comments. At the end of the day, my self-esteem as a person will be affected. Yeah, so those are some of the effects of cyberbullying. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I could definitely relate. I thought of, because I'm also, I create content online, and I have friends who do the same, and I've seen, while I've not experienced very harsh bullying, but anyway, bullying is bullying. I've seen, people comment about other people. I know, oh, your body is this and your body is that, and I've seen how it makes them withdraw and start to feel uncomfortable in a workplace, because for them that's work. That's a place that they are making their money, and then suddenly they're feeling self-conscious because someone has said this and that about your body or the way you carry yourself, and and now you don't want to come on social media. You don't want to do the thing that gives you joy, the thing that put some money in the bank. There's so many levels to this thing, and I hope that having conversations like this, just like, even if it opens one person's eyes, to just be a little bit more sensitive, a little bit kinder. I think to also realize that not everything needs to be said. You can have some thoughts and keep them, as opposed to hurting somebody's feelings or just being negative. Pesh, let me also let you say something about how cyberbullying has affected you or people you know.
I'll speak for myself because I have been bullied. You've seen that quite often. Every time I post a photo and online, there is someone into something negative, even when the photo you're posting has nothing negative about it. So I've seen that a lot, and 2 times when I was getting out of I would say some seasonal depression, and I posted a photo of me and then me on Facebook, and I reached out to them. I told them I'm very happy with what you've done. They didn't actually, they picked up my photo and they edited it to make my legs look big, and people were insulting. People were saying, "Oh my God, you should die." Oh my God, these things that they were really hurtful things, and it made me feel bad about myself. You stand in front of the mirror and you start questioning your entire existence. You're like, okay, if I look ugly, how can I change this? And most times you can't even. So I am.
Oh, I think we've lost you, Pesh. Okay, I'll just, you can try exiting and then coming back. I don't know, I think there was an issue there, probably network. The network here in Uganda sometimes is a joke. But Pesh was sharing, oh, okay.
Sorry, I had
again.
accidentally muted myself, but
Oh,
I
okay,
was saying that most of the times, the other time was I didn't fight back that first time. And the second time I posted something on Twitter, still I'd been going through a lot. And I don't even need to go through a lot for you to feel compassion towards me. So I post this photo and I'm really happy about how I look. And men flooded with really ugly comments about my body. And I decided to fight back. That was the first time. That wasn't the first time, but that is the time I took an entire day to fight bullies on Twitter. And
I think,
oh my God, it was so bad because most people. So most people would fight back, and they'll be like, why are you fighting them? Why are you bullying bullies? You're going to become like them, you're going to do this. I'm like, no, I'm not going to become like bullies. You did not say that to them, but you're saying that to me, and that really hurts. And as much as I was fighting back, in that moment, you are losing parts of yourself. You're losing that integrity that you have. You don't want to be the person online who is insulting people's mothers, but they've dragged you to that point, and that is the only thing that can hurt them. So you use that against them, which is not good, because you lose parts of yourself. Yes, there is mental health. It affects you in ways. I mean, days later, in that moment, you feel strong and you're fighting back, but days later, you will get hurt. The comments that stick with you, that it will come back in your mind and you remember that. And that kind of creates low self-esteem. The other thing is being a social media influencer. Of course, there are brands that don't want you to do that. But at the end of the day, I'm human, because when I fought back, there are brands that actually came to me. They're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. This doesn't look good on our brand. And I'm like, but I'm not Coca-Cola. I'm not. It's not like you're going to go to or on Twitter and say Coca-Cola is not good. It's just a brand. You get my point? But behind this account, there is actually a person, there's actually a human, and they are tearing me apart. So I nearly lost a job over that, over cyberbullying. So it goes beyond just, it's just Twitter, it's just social media. It actually affects our work a lot. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing about that. I mean, I remember seeing those things happening, and I was just, when you see some things happening online and you're in shock, like you actually feel physical goosebumps, you are in shock that people can be that cruel and just like have no regard for how other people feel. And even when you talked about fighting back, it's also like, when you talk about like the fact that even fighting back has other effects, man, this whole cyberbullying thing has such a trickle down, it's one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing, and it leaves you in such a bad place in your mind, because this is your workspace. You can barely, take time off from it because you're working on it, and you're facing all of this hate and all this negativity, and yet you also need to protect your mind. So man, like if you're, just in case you've never had, I think, the other side, for people who are social media creators, influencers, I mean, that's what it's like, those are the things that they are feeling. It's not, it's not on this one side that, oh, everyone just gets to say what they want to say about people's lives. It's not okay. And I hope that even if it's just one person that you're feeling, you're feeling like you can do a little bit better, because each of us can, like we all can. There's no one who is perfect, but let's be a little kinder and consider. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know. You just do not know. Maybe that person had one good day this month, and that is the day that you've torn them down. Let me just say hi to some of you in the comments. Hi, Patrick. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Daniel. As always, he says that this menace has escalated so much, but no one is ready to talk about it. That's true, it has escalated and continues to do so. Azan, I actually saw your hand up. You can put your hand up, just leave it up, and I'll give you an opportunity at the end if you'd like to say something. But Azan also says it has so many effects, your mental health, as well as that of the people who are close to you, your reputation, trust, a loss of trust from people. Actually, I think like Pesh touched on some of this when she was talking about, a brand you're working with feeling some type of way, you can actually lose work. It can tarnish your reputation, affect your esteem. So yeah, I hear you, Azan. And Mary, oh, hi, Mary. Nice to see you. I mean, there's some people who are with us every single week. It's good to see you. Sally says, hi, everyone. Learning a lot. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Simon and Stephen. Thanks for joining us, guys. So we are going to just break into a trivia session. Just in case you've never been with us here, we always have like a quick trivia session just to, relax a little bit, kind of get out of the serious mode for just a second, and maybe you may learn some random fact that's helpful. So, okay, let me ask Seba to take us to the first question. Oh, also, when I ask a question, you can just put up your hand quickly. And then the first person to put up their hand, I'll give you an opportunity to answer the question. Okay, so question one is, it's a riddle. I have branches, but no fruit, trunk or leaves. What am I? And that Kamanki guy is a hint. Ange, go ahead.
A human.
Pardon?
A human. Human or a person.
No. Then I think Pesh put up her hand also.
I think that's a bank.
Yeah, it's a bank. Hey, wow. So you'll be an influencer, you'll be a teacher, you'll be all these things, and you're also the one who wins the questions. Okay, thank you. It's a bank. So the second one is, to which famous fashion brand does this logo belong? Sally, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I think Lacoste, if I'm saying that right.
Yes, it's not our language. We don't know. Lacoste, that one. You are correct. So it is Lacoste, who knows? It is that one. So well done. You guys know your fashion. I don't think actually I would have known this if it wasn't for the fact that I created the trivia. Anyway, the next question is, what is the most widely spoken language in Africa?
Swahili.
Okay. Yes. Who was that? I didn't even
Daniel.
Daniel. Oh.
Yeah.
And, okay. All right. Yeah, that is correct, at least according to the most recent study by Harvard Department of African and African American Studies. Swahili is spoken by about 100 million people on the continent and is the most widely spoken language. As of now, it keeps changing actually. Last year apparently was Arabic, but now it's Swahili. So there you go. All right, so that's it for our little trivia session. Thanks for participating. I find that, at least for me, it helps me learn like some random interesting things. I hope it does that for you as well. So let's just jump right back into the conversation. Again, guys, if you'd like to contribute to the conversation, please put up your hand and just leave it up. And then at the very end, I'll give you an opportunity to ask a question, make a comment, just really say whatever you'd like to say. So now the next thing I want us to talk about is actually something Pesh talked about just before we moved on, about what do I do, right? I have been bullied online. Someone has made a negative comment about God knows what, my business, my looks, it could be my faith, my politics. I think someone's mic is on. Okay. All right. So someone has made, derogatory comments about, someone has dragged me. Actually, that's the lingo. Someone has dragged me. What do I do? Shantal, let me ask you, what would you recommend? What should someone do when this has happened?
Okay, so when you get yourself going through an incident of cyberbullying, there are several things you can do, safety precautions or measures, I would say. So one, let's say, for example, someone posted a comment that is hurtful to you in a way. You can delete the comment, because in most social media platforms, we have the options for deleting, yeah? So that one also takes us back to understanding our social media platforms. What are the security measures put in place? So you can delete a particular comment if you find it's trespassing to your space or it's bad for your health. Number two, also, you have the option of blocking a person, If you don't have to keep them around, you don't have to please them. If you feel like I see this with most celebrities, they're the ones who go through a lot of cyberbullying, So you have the option of blocking the person if you feel like them being around your space is toxic or too much. You can do that as well. Yeah, also the example that Pesh gave about confrontation. Sometimes I also agree it plays a key role, because how will the bully know that what they're doing is wrong? If you just ignore them, there's a time I posted a picture online. I think it was last year. So I was posting something that a future release. I'm a writer, so I was saying I'm going to work on a particular book, etc. Then someone came in the comment section and said it's someone who knew me before, so they tapped on my traumatic event that I went through in the past. So the person said, I'm sure this is the topic about the book. He didn't bring it in a positive perspective, but he was trying to highlight to the audience that you're going to write about what you went through. To me, I found it offensive. And what I did, I don't know if people will agree with this, but what I did, I went and collected my friends. I told them, can you go online and see what that person has posted? And guys came in and they were like, no, you're not supposed to do that. It is wrong. There's people who knew me and people who are close to me. So I feel you can also reach out to people around you who you feel safe. They can join in and help tell the person that whatever you're doing is wrong. Also, talking about it helps. If you go through something like that, that is something hurtful, it's something painful, it affected your emotions in a particular way. You can open up to someone you trust and they can help you maneuver. Because even from the topic of today, we are surviving through this social media era. We need it, but then again, it has negative implications towards us. So if you go through those negative implications, don't keep them within you for yourself. Talk about it, because when you keep it to yourself, that is when you get yourself forming behavior such as you now socially withdraw, you don't no longer want to be active online, or if you're running a business, it will demoralize you and you start saying, oh, if I become more active, then I'm going to face this. Talking about it also helps. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. And I mean, I'm actually also, when you asked what guys would think, you guys, please do put up your hands. Like at the end, we'd love to know what you think. I mean, you can even disagree. I feel like that's what this space is for. If you have another opinion or way that you would go about it that will help someone, let us know. We'd be happy to hear that. Maybe you'll help the next person who needs that specific method. But thanks for sharing that, Shantal. I think talking is so important. I am such a big believer in the power of conversation, whether it's in your therapist's office or it's with your best friend, or it is, wherever it is. Conversations really do move people and can create change. So I'm definitely one for the talking. Talking is something that it's a small thing, but that's also a big thing and has a lot of impact. Let me just read something from Eric. Eric says that there are several easy steps to stop, I think, to deal with cyberbullying. No answers, no emotions, stay calm, stay confident. Okay, update privacy on all your social media accounts. Yeah, if you're not like some of us who are creators online, you can do the privacy, set restrictions on posting, messaging, tags, contacts from bullies and unknown persons, block all contacts and info that you feel is inappropriate, and report if posts of bullies violate social platforms terms and conditions, report them. And actually also Shantal talked about knowing your platforms, because platforms actually have rules and regulations or whatever. So if somebody is violating a certain rule, report them and tell your friends also to report them. Me, that is something I am very much with. You tell me to report someone has done something wrong, I am with you. Just send me the link and I will report ASAP. Okay, let me give Pesh also the floor to just share on what do I do? Like, I've been bullied, what do I do?
So as most people are saying that you do not show emotion and all that, I would like to give them an example of, I started a campaign called We're That Many online, on Twitter mostly, and at a point, an acquaintance shared her story, her experience of how she had been raped. by someone, and that person is someone I had bought something from. So other people, I wasn't online at that moment. I was somewhere working, and people started saying, oh, she's not here, she's not saying anything. That means she works with rapists and all that. Yet I have actually been working to help rape victims. So in that situation, you cannot keep quiet. There are situations where you cannot keep quiet, where you have to come up and clear your name because of your work. You have to stand up and clear your name. The other thing is, just like I said, I mean, speaking up and fighting back sometimes takes spaces, parts of you, but also people kind of understand that they get the picture of this is not someone who is going to take it down quietly. Yeah, she's going to fight back. So I am going to fight back in situations where I can. I don't know if Uganda has some cyberbullying laws. I don't know if your countries where you are, if they have them. But some countries have started having such laws. So read about them, find about them, especially if you are in the space of social media influencing, if you work online, you can actually report to the police or something, and they help you. Sometimes when people are insulting us online, they don't use English. So most of these apps do not take into they don't know the languages that they're using. So when you report that tweet or you put the post, they're not actually going to take it down because they don't think it's bullying. It's just some random post in some random language. That is something that I've experienced. Yet when you are fighting back, and you use English, they are going to block your account. So there's a whole lot of loss. But if you can't fight back, if you need to clear your name, please do that. If you need help from friends to help you clear your name, please reach out. The other thing is you can take time off social media if you are not working online. I do not have that. I cannot take time off social media because it pays my bills. So at the end of the day, if you can't take time off, do that. If you can lock your account, do that. Twitter has that. Instagram has that. Facebook doesn't. Report. Tell your friends to report it. Share it. When I'm going through something and someone's bullying me, I share it with my friends and they report it. It's simple as that. Don't quote it. If you don't want, sometimes quoting it is going to give it more reach. But then at the same time, you want to clear your name. So it's a confusing space, but you have all these options. So what option works in that moment? Do you need to clear your name? So do you need to fight back? Do you need to take time off? Because this is not something that you're going to report and it gets flagged unless very many people report it. So you need to look at all the options. Can you report this to the police if it's something that is more like defamation, like someone is actually ruining your name, and it's not just body shaming, but actually ruining your name? Because I know most of our governments don't take into consideration the whole idea of body shaming, because what did they take away from you? They don't consider the mental health part of this. So look at all your options. You can't just say every time someone bullies me, I'm going to go quiet. But if it's going to affect your work, yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. You touched so many important things. I think one of the things is like there's these different things that you can do, but you need to find what works for your situation. If you have a private account, go and remove these bullies or whatever, take all those security measures and privacy measures to protect your account. If you work online, you don't have that option. Okay, you can block people, there's that. But again, it's then like, okay, how many people can I block, right? If something needs to be reported, then report it. If something is attacking your reputation, your livelihood, then sometimes you do need to speak up, to say something in order to protect yourself. So I don't know, it's a confusing thing. It's true, like there's so many layers to this thing. There's so many different circumstances require different things. And so it's stressful. Even just thinking about it is like, okay, so now I have to think about all these options and I need the internet, So if we can if we can all do our 1% and just be kinder, and even if it reduces by 1%, we'll have helped someone be a little bit kinder. Azan says, ignore, prove them wrong through actions, not arguing them. That definitely sometimes works. I know even for me, sometimes when people make comments that are, offhanded, I'll just ignore them. I'll mute, block, whatever, and move on. There are some times when that's actually the best course, but again, it really depends. Eric says that when you have been bullied, I think, find the reason why they bully you. If it's legitimate, you could take note and change. Okay. I'm just going to say, I don't think there's ever a good reason to bully someone, even if I don't agree with you or what you're saying. I don't think there's ever a good reason to say that what is the reason and change. I don't know. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because someone is just being themselves at the end of the day. If it is sexist or racist, okay, I haven't understood some of the points, but maybe you can also put up your hand and explain some of this. Find your close group of friends and you never have to worry about it again. I'm going to ask you actually just put up your hand and then you'll tell us a little bit about what you're talking about, because I think maybe I haven't understood some of it. I see staying positive. You cannot change them. That is true. Yeah, actually, Eric has quite a bit, some advice to share. So he says today it is easier than ever to have your dirty laundry aired online. This has led to an increase in cyberbullying. It can be difficult to deal with because there's no face-to-face contact. There are no consequences, but it isn't impossible to deal with. The best way is to report, reach out to firms such as Cyborg Metro. Okay, I actually don't know anything about that. Maybe you can share with us what that is. To delete bullying posts. All right. Okay. So thank you guys for sharing. I will keep getting into the comments. So another thing I'd like us to discuss is just how do we make existing on the internet a little easier on us? I know we've talked about stuff like maybe just, report, move on. I mean, that's one of the things anyway. I think I know for sure blocking people has made my life easier. If someone is just being negative, being abusive, whatever, block. And yeah, I feel like I've protected myself from at least one bad thing on the internet. But yeah, how do we just deal? Like, how do we exist on the internet and just like put things in place to protect ourselves? Shantal, let me let you share on that. Those types of things. I mean, even for you, maybe you can share with us, what do you do to keep yourself safer and, keep your mind protected on the internet? Okay, I think we may have lost Shantal. Okay, I think we may have lost her. I'm sure she'll join again when she can. Okay, yeah, she's trying to get back in. All right. So let me just swing it back to Pesh. What stuff that you do that has helped you just like have more peace on the internet, okay, as much as you can, because I know it's difficult for you because you have a business centered around being on social media, but what are like those little things that you've done or that you put in place for yourself to protect your mental health online?
I mute people a lot. So I know I can't block everyone because at one point you are, you're my employer, you're a client, and all these things. So I can't block everyone, but I'll mute you. So I won't see your engagement that often, unless I'm posting something about business and then I see that there's some comments I can't see. I'll probably use another account and see those comments. If it's a question about the business, and I'll respond to it. If it's not, I'll move. So yeah, I mute people a lot. I mute words. If there is a word that's going to trigger me, if there is a phrase that people are using to bully me, because having done the Well at Mini campaign, there's been a lot of phrases that I know that person is talking about me. So I mute them. The other thing is, I can't lie, I fight back. When people come at me hard, I fight back. And that has kind of created a sense of, okay, she's not someone who is, you're just going to throw things at, and she goes quiet. I totally understand, and I hear you guys when you say, go quiet and I ignore the comments and be the bigger person, but I'm already a big person, so I can't be the bigger person twice. Anywho, I do fight back a lot. That has had its bad effects on me, but also it has helped set boundaries that we're going to laugh, we're going to do this, but you can't say that to me. I'm not going to take it. Even in person, when let's say you're at a family event and this person you haven't seen in 10 years, like, oh my God, you've gained weight. I'm like, listen, I respect you, I like you, but that's not your business. I'll tell you right there, because if you don't, then they're going to keep doing it, and it's going to eat you. But when you fight back and they go quiet, most times they actually do when you fight back. I mean, you're not going to body shame a body shamer because they already have insecurities and they're kind of like trying to project them on you. What you do usually, if you're going to fight back, you use something that is bigger to them, something that matters to them. I'm sorry I'm teaching you guys to fight back, but that has worked for me. When you do that, they go quiet. And it gives you that sense of, I put you in your place. You hurt me, but I did put you in your place. So yeah, that works for me sometimes. That if you go to hell, I'll drag you there and we will dance from hell together. But in situations that I can ignore, I just mute these people because most of them are just looking for engagement. Most of these people are just looking to grow their accounts through bullying, through their misogyny, their racism and the homophobia and all these things that we see online. That's how they are trying to grow their accounts, because then they get the engagement and then they rebrand into these influencers who are speaking about issues that hurt us. So yeah, I have muting, fighting back, those have worked for me.
Yeah, I think that it's fair that there are different ways, because different things can't be handled the same way. Like, as much as, of course, retaliation is not always the answer. Just like you said, there are times when there's some people where you can just mute. There are also times when you need to speak up so that someone knows that, this is not happening and we are not allowing it. So yeah, it's really a pick and choose type of thing. I don't know if Shantal managed to reconnect. You're here. Great. So Shantal, just before the internet took you away, I was just asking, we're talking about what kind of things have you put in place for yourself to just have a more peaceful existence on the internet, specifically on social media? What are those little things that work for you?
Okay, so on my end, what I do is that I have this principle of to what extent do I post or what do I post? So every time I put up a post, there's in my subconscious mind, it's just alert, like how will a person react? It's like I play the whole situation in my mind and ask myself, because to be honest, cyberbullying is one of the things I fear. I don't want to go through that because as a mental health advocate, I know its implications. So one thing, I check what I post, but also in as much as we check what we post, you can find yourself in circumstances whereby no matter how careful you are, a bully appears. Yeah. So I can remember one time, I would say I've been raised with a single mom. So I remember one time somebody sent me a friend request. Then I just accepted. After accepting, it's somebody I knew, but we aren't that close. So when I went to his wall, I was just checking the kind of posts that person is posting. I like to be keen and aware who is my friend and what are they bringing on the table. That's also another tip. So when I went to his wall, I found him writing that ladies who have been brought up as single moms turn out to be nothing. I was so angry. I was so pissed. I was so mad because I know the price it pays for a single mom to raise his children. Immediately there, I went, I unfriended and I blocked the person. I don't know if they ever realized I did that or not. But for me, I think what I can tell people is that just be conscious of your space. Who are you allowing in your friends list? Not everyone will be of good, and if in case somebody projects their negative side, block them. Don't even think twice. Sometimes the energy of confrontation, you might be too tired or too drained to even face it. Just block it instantly. And then also, I think I got you guys discussing on this point of confrontation. I want to add something on that as well. I always tell myself that if these people are not told what they're doing is wrong, how will they ever know that it is wrong? You know? So if we try and bring up this issue whereby someone does something bad and we just dismiss, it's like we are encouraging them to continue doing it. So I think we can be social media buddies or warriors, whereby if I go online right now and I find someone has written something bad on my wall, let me call Fiona and say, we just had this conversation some 30 minutes ago and someone is on my wall and is doing A, B, C, D. You can be your social media buddy to another person, you know? You don't have to be even friends. You probably you've met in this space here today. So also let us try and watch out for each other's backs, our friends, our family. It would be of great help. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, you guys, I'm your social media buddy. Feel free to reach out to me on our Telegram group. Ange, please send the link for our Telegram. We have a Telegram group. It's just like where we share information about our work, but also you guys can share about what you do, connect with other people. So you can join over there. And if you need a social media buddy, I am here. And we can help each other because, like Shantal said, there's definitely some times where you just need to tell someone that, nope, we're not allowing this. So I feel like one of the just like the what do they call it? The overlapping message that that is in everything we are saying is cyberbullying is bad. And that we shouldn't be vessels for this stuff to happen. We shouldn't be enablers of these things. You know, if someone is making negative comments about somebody's body, you shouldn't be the person in the comments laughing and you know, encouraging that type of negative conversation to continue. And I can't speak for everyone, obviously, but I see so many women being attacked, just like based on their bodies. And it breaks my heart because insecurity is real. And we're messing with people's livelihood, like just like their being and existing, you know, your confidence, your esteem, just like that good stuff. We're messing with people's good stuff and just turning it into something negative. So I don't know if there's anybody who'd like to say something. You can definitely put up your hand because we have a couple of minutes and we like to give you guys an opportunity to say something if you'd like to. So if you want to, you can put up your hand. And okay. I was about to read your comment and I saw your hand. Edison, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Kemi and the panelists plus all the members. Yeah, I'm Edson Rema from Uganda as usual. The topic has really impressed me. I've only picked one thing which is really working well for me. I was looking at cyberbullying, but to me, in line with my message in the chat box, I look at it as a boost to me because when I put my information or a message I want to reach the intended perpetrator of a certain issues we have in the community, it is very positive for me when I see people reacting and people taking my posts so personal. So what I do, I don't block them, I don't mute them, but I keep the information flowing so that it helps me to get more information. And that's where I also evaluate myself. Provided the information or the message they're giving does not affect other people and the security of my country. Like in Uganda, we have a number of social movements activists who are sending messages whose aims are to create awareness and open the eyes of people. But from nowhere, you find the same categories of the people, the youths, who are being used by some other state operative to intimidate, to bully authors of such information or messages. So to me, that is a boost. It gives me information that what I'm really putting ahead, it's really touching people, but they feel guilty. That's why they become arrogant and sometimes, yes, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Edison. I think you've actually shared another angle that we hadn't touched, when it comes to politically motivated posts on social media, and how people who don't agree with you or are on another side will use abuse or harassment, online in order to push you. So I think that's actually another angle that also can be handled in a different way. So thank you for sharing that. Azan, I see your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ahlam from Zanzibar, and I would like to share some few points regarding this conversation. Nowadays, most of youth are obsessed about social media. And the obsession thing is really affecting our mood and our behavior and our life in general, because we're expecting more from the people that we don't even know them, we don't even meet. So I think as a youth, we have to be who we are and to be proud of ourselves. And we should not react on the unnecessary matters that the people that they are pointing out due to their own interests. So we should not be obsessed and expecting more from the people that we don't know. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, you certainly have a point. Social media can definitely be an obsessive space. I know that has happened to so many of us, young people that are on the space. It can be obsessive, and you can get, you start to care, about every tiny thing that every single person says, which is why I think also that issue of if you are in a position to take a break from social media, sometimes it's actually a good idea. Eric, go ahead. Eric Muhia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think I've been commenting quite a lot on the chat box, but I hope you understood what you understood. So anyways, what I can say is that when I post things on my social media, I always say that people can agree or disagree to a post, a comment, or anything, but the most key factor is to respect. When you uphold the element of respect, it really helps you a lot. So in conclusion, I can say that what we can do is about cyberbullying is to have better privacy settings and teach people about how to stay safe online and how to use these blocking features and how to report cyberbullying at quite an early stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Respect, that's key. All of these things happen because there's just a lack of respect for diverging opinions, for other people's beliefs, and so on and so forth. So respect, if that's one thing we can all take and apply when we in our online interactions, then we are definitely contributing to a healthier space online. Stephen, I see your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Kemi, and everyone. A very good evening again. I am Stephen Okello, reporting from Uganda. I've been following the conversation, and it has been so much touching. Now I noticed one thing. There is now too much cyberbullying in Twitter than any other social media platforms that I have noticed. And also, right now in Uganda, there is a faction that doesn't go with the other faction. When you post anything on Twitter, whether it's a positive thing, whether it is a negative thing, they will just rise up to go against your post, to go against your issue that you have raised. Now, I have decided and I have developed positivity, and I always ignore whatever I put up on Twitter, whatever I put up on Facebook. I believe I'm going to get the negative comments. I'm going to get the bullies. I am going. Actually, there was one time that I received a call, which was so much threatening because of the content I was sharing on social media. But that didn't push me down. I didn't back off speaking the right thing. So I would say we need sometimes to stay positive, ignore these bullies, and then life continues. Because actually, what we are going to back down from saying in one way or the other is positively impacting on someone's life. So I would wish to stop there for today because our time is fast spent by saying thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. So I'm going to I see one more hand up. So Judy will be the last person to say something. Please go ahead, Judy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for our guest and for hosting this session. And for me, what I would like to contribute is also for us to take an initiative to learn more about social media, because I believe there are settings that comes with the particular social media, maybe like Facebook or Twitter, whereby you can limit people commenting on a post, you can limit people like tagging you, you can limit people like negative words being spoken or something bad. Like there's some settings you can attach to your social media and to limit the cyberbullying at some point, of which it has really helped me. And also what I would like to contribute is that we have like a to be specific, there are times whereby your social media is your business. Like for instance, if you open a social media page, the same social media page is one you are posting your life, the same social media you're posting your business, the same social media you're posting your career, the same social media you are posting you are replying to okay, you're mixing everything in one social media. So it's easy for like people to drill and drill and drill and drill. And what I would advise is also that if we can, as much as we can really separate, it will be really beneficial, whereby you separate your life away from your career, like away from your business. If maybe you have a product you're selling, can that social media just be limited to that particular product or limited to that services you're giving? And you might have another social media if that is possible. The last thing also I would like to contribute is like just our guests say is like limit, like before you accept a friend request. As for me, I usually give them like a 1 month stay there for a friend request, and it gives me time to like see what you're posting and to also understand what kind of person you are. I go to the kind of friends you have, and also I don't get it if you have 0 followers with no picture and you send me a friend request. Back to Twitter also, it also about we be very limited on what we are retweeting. It is not a must you retweet, it's not a must you like. You can read and digest it at personal level. This also I learned from another mental session coach, that be specific what you are retweeting. because also what you are retweeting, Twitter is like you retweet somebody, retweet, you are pinned, and it goes over and over and over and over. That's what I have for tonight. Thank you. I'm Judy.
All right. Thank you so much, Judy, for sharing that. Sally, I see your hand up and we're out of time. But if you can say what you're saying in 30 seconds, which I am going to time, you can go ahead.
I will honor that. So what I from this conversation, I've heard a lot about what we can do, in regards to sensitizing cyberbullying, by letting make people more aware of the, implications it has onto people. But what I'm thinking is, what can we do as individuals, me as an influencer, me as a person, what can I do to block my heart or guard myself against these cyber bullies? Going back to something like body shaming, for example, something that I do is, first of all, I will not be a bully to myself, so I will not believe what people say about me. And I also make a point to not bully myself. You get what I mean? Like, I will not agree with what you're saying, and then I will not agree with what my mind wants me to believe, rather. So I work around me. Like, what can I do to make sure that I do not believe what the bullies are saying? That way, I'm also guarding my mental health, and I remain sober and stable. Yes, so that's about it. Thank you.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Sally. Self-love. All right, let me, actually, it's great that Pesh's hand is up, because I'm going to ask our guests to just kind of give us, a last word as we wind up. So Pesh, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted the last person who was talking about, sorry, I forgotten your name.
Sally.
Sally, yeah. You're talking about how you can protect yourself. One thing you need to understand is bullies are always projecting. Unless they're dragging you for something you did in the back, like some time back, that's probably bullied someone else and now they're bullying you. But the thing is, bullies are always projecting. When someone is calling out about your body, most of the times go and search for their photo. You'll see what they look like. I'm sorry to put it that way. But most of the times they are projecting their own insecurities. Yeah. If someone feels like their only way to grow, their only way to feel better about themselves is putting you down, means that they don't feel like they are up enough. They are projecting their insecurities on you. So every time I see someone bullying me, I tell them, in my head, I know that is about you. That's how you see yourself. Even if it's a man who is bullying my body, and like, there is a part of you that really wants to bring me down to your level. Yeah. You feel like I shouldn't feel big enough. I shouldn't be confident enough. So you attack a certain part of my body so that I can feel sad, I can feel bad about myself. So it's all about projection. And if you understand that, then you realize it's not about it, it's about them. Like, most of the times when someone bullies me, I'm like, what have you gained from that? Like, did it help you sleep well at night? Like, what have you really gained from that? It hasn't done anything for you, apart from you actually becoming a bitter person more and more and more. So realize that it's not about you. It's really not about you. You're just projecting. If you are not a social media influencer, limit the people who engage with your content. Limit the people who, when you realize that something is spiraling, you can just limit people who are engaging with it, especially on Twitter and Instagram. You can turn off comments, you can lock your account, you can take time off, get therapy. Let me tell you, these things kind of stick with you sometimes. As much as they are a projection of the other person's character, they kind of stick with you. So when you feel overwhelmed, because some people are bullied to the extent of suicide, don't get there, get help, talk to a friend when you feel overwhelmed, talk about these things. My experience of me constantly talking about my experiences with bullies has actually helped me look at it as, it just happened. I'm not that. I'm not what these people said. I am much bigger and they're just trying to pull me down. So yeah, protect your space. If you're an influencer, mute people, mute words. That's the only way you're going to be able to. But if you need to clear your name and talk to friends, call them out and say, hey, Fiona, hey, Pesh, help me out here. And I'll show up for you, even if I don't know you. Yeah.
She really will, actually. She will, I know. Okay, thank you for sharing that. And I guess like from what you and Sally have said, it really does go back to like each individual, because even these individuals that are hurt and are deciding to hurt people, you know, they need to work on themselves. Like we all need to do some work so that we're not on the internet, you know, tearing down other people based on our own pain, our own troubles. You know, we can't be putting out negativity based on our own challenges. So guys, therapy is actually really important. Talk to somebody. Let me also give Shantal the opportunity to just kind of give us a closing remark as we wind up the episode today. Shantal, please go ahead. I don't know if you still have her.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here. So this has been a great conversation. So my last take would be to just get our minds in a food for thought moment. Social media is a powerful tool, especially when it comes to growth and development. But as human beings, we've turned it upside down. We can do two things online. We can either build ourselves and each other, or we can destroy ourselves and tear each other down. So if we have those two options, I think we all agree that the best way is build each other and grow. So let us stop questioning and hugging cyberbullying, because from my own research, I feel like we are embracing it. It's becoming a culture. People are commenting without thinking. People are reacting without thinking. People are throwing words aimlessly. So what usually hurts me the most is that, what about that young girl who is still growing, that 16-year-old who is probably online? What are we teaching them? They are the future generation. They're going to copy what this generation is doing. So I feel like this issue of cyberbullying, we all have a key role to play and think of its implications and long-term effects. And to end it, I would say that we can all try and learn digital etiquette or social media etiquette. And lastly, to just respect each other, both online and offline. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that was a great point to leave us at. There are a couple of messages. Let me go through actually more than a couple. Geoffrey says cyberbullying is more or less the same that we faced in high school. How to manage requires knowing why you're on social media, your audience, the message you're putting out. By doing that, you clearly understand. Okay, there's a mic that's on. Okay. Then I see a few, okay. Oh, pre-birthday wishes. Oh, happy birthday. I think it's Alam's almost birthday. Happy almost birthday. Let me just say happy almost birthday. Eric says that in Kenya, that this that he has quoted is part of the law. A person who commits an offense under subsection 1 is liable. Wait, what's in subsection 1 though? That's, I think, what we've not understood. But anyway, but he says, but let me just quote the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Bill. So that's something to look at if that's your jurisdiction. Okello says that during the election period in Uganda, he managed a Facebook page for a friend and had to deactivate all the people that were abusive and negative. So I would advise to learn how to use social media. I think we've all agreed that, we need to learn what are the avenues. Actually, even Pesh talked about muting words. I didn't know you could mute words. I knew you could mute people, but this is about start muting words as well. If you know there are trigger words for you, it makes sense to just mute that content. All right. Thank you, Frederick, and everyone who is saying that this was fruitful and helpful for them. I appreciate it. We'll definitely be here every Thursday. Okay, I think I have tried to go through all of the comments, but definitely join the Telegram group as well, and we can extend some of these conversations over there. Thank you so much again, guys, for joining us. We're actually a little bit out of our time allocation, supposed to be an hour, but I really wanted to give you guys also the opportunity to just say what's on your chest. A big thank you to our guests, Shantal and Patience, We really appreciate you taking the time to share about this. Again, we are such big believers in having conversations at You Lead Africa. We believe it's a way to move people, even if there are only 2 people here, by the way, we would still converse, because even if we're changing one person, that's the one person that's going to change the next couple of people. So thank you, and good night, good evening, good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika, Tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika,
Kokamo Africa. Mwishani wonse. Bonjour.
from country to country, yeah, we gotta work together. We are leaders now, aiming higher for the better. Together, to make our nations greater, our sharing to empower. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, listen, together we shape young men and women. With the pillars, with the future, here we are. Let's join together with ability to change communities, with love, with peace, to respond to our need, to call for unity. Africa, hear me cry, never leave me alone. As I say loud in a brighter future, let's join hands for youth and women. Let's join hands for youth and
So you
women.
lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, vijana wa Afrika wote waungana, vijana vijana kutoka mashariki, magharibi, kaskazini na kusini, hata na kati, twaja pamoja ili tufanye nini?